And good morning and welcome to Sports Talk. Good Saturday morning. Beautiful outside after all the thunderstorms gave way last night about, I guess right around dark. Started getting some breeze in, some clear skies, and this morning's a beautiful morning outside. Everything's wet, but looks like a good day today. I don't think there's much chance of rain today. And so finally got some rain. I'll tell you what, knocked the pollen down a little bit. We've been needing something like that in this area because I know it rained, what day was that, Wednesday in Lincoln or Thursday? And I mean it rained probably 2 inches in an hour.
We didn't get any of that.
None here either. None in the edge of Catawba County either. It looked like the dividing line was where you cross the 4-lane 321. It's like it just had a cutoff point right there. But nonetheless, we're glad to be here. Unfamiliar face in Mike Powell's seat this morning, as Mike Powell is on a weekend getaway, is the way I'll word that, at the coast, from what I understand. So good for him, and hopefully weather not bothering. Well, what am I thinking? Weather's not bothering his plans, is it, Lanny? Nope. But glad to have Lenny Anthony with us this morning. Of course, Brett Keever over there in the control seat, and I'm David Keever, and we'll take you through the next couple hours of sports. And, I was thinking this morning, as I do every now and then, think a little bit. Busy time of year, for sports. Really, I mean, two professional sports in the midst of their playoffs, and one of which I watched last night for the first time in a while. Want to guess which one? Brett knows because I texted him last night.
Basketball.
Nope. Hockey.
Hockey.
I flipped over to hockey, and the first thing I saw was a man in a suit and tie laying on his back on a stretcher. That's what was going on when I got there. So I said, now this is real hockey. I wouldn't think it's a fan because fans don't go in neckties. No, it's not a player, but he was on the stretcher on the ice, not up in the bleachers. And I think there's a job in coaching for all of us if we really want it. What I heard was he was the timeout coordinator for the home team. Have you ever heard of a timeout coordinator?
Took timeout,
He had taken one. He had taken one because a piece of the glass that protects everything, a piece of the glass had fell on him. It's not funny, and broke. So I don't know how bad he was injured. They said he looked like he was talking as they wheeled him off the ice. This was Carolina at Boston, and I don't even know how it wound up. I'm guessing that Boston won last night. They were down 2-0 in that series, but they were up 3-0 whenever I started watching. They were up 3-1 after Carolina got a goal late in the second period. But it was an odd situation to see a guy like that, wheeled off. All the Boston players were coming up to him, tapping him as they took him out. So don't know what the status is of him. Hopefully he's all right. Don't know how that happened. I was hoping for a replay. I don't even know if they had it on video. I don't even know if there was any video of what might happen. And I don't know if it was the impact that knocked him out, or when the glass broke, did it cut him somewhere? But that leads me to something else. Go ahead.
That's amazing. As hard as those guys hit those glass hollers, and then one.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was in front,
right,
or if fans caused it with the glass that's behind. But isn't one of them? Surely the fan glass is plexiglass, isn't it? Something that wouldn't break.
I would think, yeah.
But whatever it was, they said it shattered. Never did show me a picture of it, but they said it broke when it hit him. But which leads me to, I told Brett the reason I texted him about watching hockey is I said I haven't watched hockey in a while, but this is the most physical contest I've ever seen. And they were going at it. And like every time somebody would take the puck from one end to the other, there was some blood flying. Yeah.
Well, I think that was the same series, but it was in Raleigh.
I
wasn't even watching it, but it was on, I believe, highlights.
Mm-hmm.
And the goalie, somebody got took out. The goalie had played so well the game. It must have been game 2 because they'd poked him in the eye or something or another. And then it wasn't before the match was over. They cleaned the plow on the guy that had took him out. I know when they hit him, he got up and his teammate kind of grabbed him, and
that's what happens.
And then he fell again.
That's what happens. I mean, and then somebody probably got some revenge for that hit, and if they didn't, that's what happened last night.
So there's probably just a continuance of the bad blood is already there from games 1 and 2.
I told Brett I've watched a lot of hockey. I've not watched a lot of hockey, but I've never watched a game as physical as this one on 245, which is TBS, on our network. I didn't even know TBS was carrying it. I thought I was flipping over there and going to see some basketball. Right. I thought maybe ESPN and TBS both had one at the same time, but that wasn't the case.
I think they've been on the nights that NBA is on ESPN, TBS and TNT have had hockey playoffs on.
Yep. But I asked Brett, his response was, when I said that about the hockey, I can't get into it. That was his response. Did you ever even flip over there?
No.
I did not figure that you did, that you were going to check it out just to see what happened in that. But, I guess I could look right here and tell you how it turned out.
Boston won.
Did they?
Yeah, 4-2.
4-2?
Yeah.
So our neighbors across the street were happy. Because they are from the Boston, New England area, and I know what's weird about it is I won't bring up their names. May not want me to mention their names, but one of them he's a big Patriot fan, but he don't care that much about the Red Sox, which is odd to me from being in that area because it seems like the Red Sox would be one. I don't know if he pays any attention at all to basketball.
But it doesn't seem like he would.
But they both wear hockey stuff when hockey season, especially when the playoffs roll around. They can be seen in Boston Bruins attire. So, and especially the wife.
How long have they been in this area?
A long time.
So it's been
a long time.
Native Bostonians.
Well, I think I don't think they're. I think he's from higher up than that. Just part of New England. Just part of New England. Yeah, yeah. Maybe. Maybe New Hampshire, somewhere up in there. But anyway, yeah. The Red Sox seemed like that would have been an automatic. But I guess if the guy was never interested in baseball, the Red Sox really didn't mean that much to him. And I'll say this too, Lenny, you and I both being Red Sox fans, we know he's better off today not being a Red Sox fan. Because
probably a good thing now he's not.
Boston is one team I think I looked and they've lost 10 of their last 9, and that's hard to do. And that's about the way they're playing right now. And I can't figure it out. They did nothing to improve their team.
No,
during the offseason. In
fact, I thought they kind of digressed myself.
Obviously looks like it.
My theory a little bit was I'm not throwing rocks at Jackie Bradley because he's a heck of a defensive player, and I really wanted them to re-sign him last year.
Is he hitting 100?
But when you let him walk last year, what all of a sudden has changed it now? Well, we want him back. When he traded Renfroe, you're not going to get a lot of batting average out of Renfroe, but you're not going to get that out of Jackie. But you're getting a whole lot more power. So.
Makes me wonder if they got him though for like maybe half price.
Yeah,
or
well, they got a couple minor leaguers out of it too, and that's they say they're building the farm system, but you got to win now too, and they've got the money to win with. I think that's just me.
And that's
think
the part
skimpy with their money.
They have been. That's the part that bothers me.
Chaim Bloom. It starts with C, but I think it's Chaim Bloom. I say he wants to be a Tampa Bay, but he's got money to spend. So I felt that.
Not everybody can be a Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
you have to have the right people in place to do what they're doing. There's another team. Oakland used to do it.
Yeah.
Low money.
They had to do it out of necessity. Those two teams. Boston's got money to spend. And
I'll tell you this. Now, is the guy you're talking about, is he the GM?
He's the GM.
Okay. He'll get ran off pretty quick.
Yeah, he came from Tampa.
Because ownership will get run out of town in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
As far as baseball goes. They'll run is it Henry? Is he still the owner of the team?
I think there's a multiple group, but he's the primary
as good as Boston sports have been, it's still a Red Sox town. As good as all the other sports have been. When's the last Brett? When's the last Celtics title. What year was that around?
08.
Because they've all four have won a title since 08 then.
Yeah.
Including the Bruins, Red Sox with a couple, and the Patriots. We know their history, but it's still I would still say, honestly, with all the old folks that there are in Boston, the older fans, that the Patriots probably come in fourth.
You're probably right.
Because I would say Celtics too, and Bruins, and I bet that's close.
Right.
It may even be Bruins over Celtics because of the last. I mean, the Celtics at one time were winning titles every couple of years, but not anymore. Those days are gone. Back to the hockey scene, though, as Brett said, the Bruins did beat the Hurricanes 4-2. That is still a 2-1 lead for Carolina in the series. Toronto 2, Tampa Bay nothing last night. That tightens that one up. No, actually, that gave Toronto a lead. They were tied 1-1. Toronto now leads in that series. Minnesota and St. Louis, Minnesota 2-0. Gives Minnesota a 2-1 lead. And I won't say the Houston Oilers, but that wouldn't be right, would it? The Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings 2-0. And they take a 2-1 lead in that. So all four of those. Now, is that all we got left, Brett, or is there a whole set on the other side that'll play today?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah. Because I think their playoffs just kind of started.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this first round.
That's about as good as you can get, though. With everybody got 3 games in the books, it's 2-1's as close as you can get, and all four of those series are 2-1. Yeah. So, and I have not kept up enough and looked at the standings all year to see how they're seeded or anything like that. Who's the favorites, Brett, to win this year?
I think Colorado's one of them.
Okay.
Seems like Florida Panthers were at the top of the East.
Just by looking at the records.
I think it's those two, Florida and Colorado.
Just by looking at the records of the 8 teams that played last night, nobody really has set themselves apart. The best record's probably the Minnesota Wild at 53-22. This is just the 8 that played last night. No, the Hurricanes are 54-20 with 8 ties. There again, don't like sports that can end in a tie. Even the NFL can end in a tie.
The Hurricanes finished second in the Eastern Conference
behind
Florida.
Behind Florida.
And then on the other side, it was Colorado and Minnesota were the top 2.
What is Florida's name?
Panthers.
Okay, Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning hockey, and in the Sunshine State. That was a long time coming, right?
Yeah. And they're both pretty good, too.
Yeah, I think did Tampa not win it last year?
I believe they've been in the finals the last
They have, yeah. They've been really good recently.
Think about Tampa Bay and New York, the difference in the sports towns right now. Tampa's had to pay might as well call them the Patriots. Patriots South. The Buccaneers, the Rays have been in the World Series, and the Lightning have won, send them an NBA team. Of course, they got one in Orlando not far away, but and then look at New York. All those teams they have, and when is the last New York title in major sports?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
See, I don't know about hockey.
I'm not sure.
But
probably the Yankees, I guess, would be the last one.
And that's been a while.
Yeah.
The Giants won a couple
They did win 2.
In the 2000s.
Strahan era.
Probably around the same time the Yankees won their last one.
I think the Yankees won in 01.
I think they've won since then.
I think it
has.
Was it 09 or something?
09,
okay.
I think it was 09.
But,
okay. But still, that's a long drought for them. I mean,
I think they do have the best record in baseball right now.
Yeah, well, they've been playing really well.
You speaking of the Yankees, Rodney's going to like hearing this. I heard this on yesterday, I think. You know what, they had 11-game winning streak already this year. And said the last 3 years they had at least a 10-game winning streak sometime.
They're world champions.
3 years in a row and with no world championships. But then said
there weren't any.
But said that they hadn't had, but they went in the other direction. The last time they had a losing streak of 10 games or more was 1913. But this is what blew my mind. It said since the Yankees had that losing streak that long, since 19th, they said 378 other big league teams had at least one 10-game losing streak during that streak.
And we had that many teams.
Yeah. Said 29. Said 29 teams. Said, and I thought, wow,
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're another one. I mean, not going to say anything negative about the way they do things because Boston, L.A. and
they didn't call it 10.
The Giants.
They said double-digit winning streaks, which could be 10 or more. And
that's amazing. But the rich get richer in Major League Baseball. It makes you wonder how Boston has not been very competitive here in the early going.
No, it hasn't.
10-17, as a matter of fact. Only 4-7 in Fenway, and they're going through a stretch right now where they play like 18 home games, I think, in the month of May. If they don't get it turned around in May, it's not going to turn around.
It's early. I know that. It's 27 games in.
I thought you were going to say 27 degrees.
You don't want to panic, but you can't win it in a first month, but you can sure lose it. You can sure.
I think
one of the advantage, but they're nowhere near that right now. Is with so many wild cards now. You still got opportunities to get back in it. But you got to start. You got to get started.
Yep. Last year they did hit a couple pretty good streaks and got in the playoffs. And I kind of thought last year they overachieved. They did a little more than I expected in the playoffs, but it doesn't look like they're headed in the right direction. Now I don't know what the answer is either. It's kind of odd that their pitching is pretty good.
The pitching has been good.
It's not been bad.
It's been the late end of the game relief pitching. But the starting pitching has been very good.
But you know what, they put that late game relief pitching in a lot of bad situations. That they shouldn't have to be in. I mean, Boston playing at Fenway should not lose games 4-2. I mean, that's just not something you do. They need to be averaging at least 6 runs a game in that ballpark.
I agree.
Yeah, but that's
and I've kind of
been their weakness, scoring.
If Devers and Bogarts don't get 2 or 3 hits a game, they have absolutely no chance right now.
No, they don't.
Don't.
And they may both be on their way out if they're not careful.
I mean,
if they don't re-sign these guys.
I believe I looked last night,
soon.
and Dahlback had a 148 batting average.
Yet they didn't go after a first baseman that could hit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Well,
he is out hitting Joey Votto. No offense, Denny, Steve K.
There is a guy, and I saw on TV last night right before I went to bed. There's a big time minor league, Tristan Casas. He's a first baseman, so I feel like that's probably why they didn't.
But Dahlback's what?
But
17 years old.
Yeah. Right.
He looks it in the face.
But
I mean, he's hitting like a 17-year-old in the majors too. It sounds like.
No, I'm not the general manager, but I would.
I'd vote for you to do it right now.
I'm not throwing rocks at Trevor's Story either, but because it's early, But personally, I wish they would have re-signed Schwarber myself, and
he's not
really a first baseman, but he could play it in emergencies. But you can move him around all over the outfield, and after you got rid of Renfroe, you could have went ahead and got Jackie.
I wish they would have signed George Springer, and I'll tell you why. And I don't even care if he didn't get a hit, because every time he plays against them, he gets 3 or 4, and usually a home run. He is a Boston killer.
And he is a native hero. I mean, he's from New England.
I did not even know that part.
I
did not even know that part.
They was going to sign him when he left Houston. That's really what I thought.
I think he's one of the best players in Major League Baseball.
I mean, he's a New Englander and played at UConn. And
okay, Monty and Rodney, I know y'all tired of hearing us whine about our Red Sox. We'll go through the Major League Baseball scores from last night, talk a little bit about what's going on. This is a good way to put it. Roberts hits 2-run homer. White Sox top slumping Red Sox 4-2. Well, that's being nice, putting it on there that they're slumping. 4-2, the White Sox beat the Red Sox. Brewers over the Braves 6-3. Atlanta, though, is right on pace where they were last year, right? They're 12-16, and were later crowned world champs.
I think Milwaukee's won 9 out of 10.
They've been hard, but yeah.
And I didn't realize last night I watched a little bit of this too. I was doing some channel surfing last night. I watched some of this, and one of the guys on it was on MLB, so it wasn't what I was watching was just people critiquing and talking about it, and said, the Brewers actually held the Braves in check better than the Astros or who else? Who'd they play?
The Dodgers.
Yeah. Said they held them in check better than those two teams did.
It was a good
their problem was
series.
scoring runs.
Yeah.
So if they can score runs, this may be a team we watch out for down the road. The Brewers 19-8 on the season. And, they don't get a lot of love. They don't get talked about much. Small market. So just don't get the praise they should get.
And they really did a lot what they did the last couple of years without a really good Christian Yelich. If he could step back up like he did about
MVP
3 years
year?
ago, then
Didn't he earn the MVP?
I believe he was
Yeah, he
MVP.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really had two really well. You throw in the COVID year, but 2 years it's really been down years. But now he's been hitting here lately. So if they can have a great year out of him,
Yeah, because if I guess that's one of those between a rock and a hard place. If he has a good year, then the Yankees, your Dodgers, your Red Sox, they might make an offer he can't refuse.
Right.
If he has a mediocre year, he might stay in Milwaukee.
That's
but you know what, Milwaukee needs him, like you said, they need him to step up if they're gonna make the postseason and have success in the postseason.
because the pitching's deep. The start pitching's deep, and then the bullpen's solid. Well, not solid. It's really good. When you get all the way down to the left-hander, Hader, I believe.
Bill
Yeah.
Hader.
But I mean, they're solid all the way through. That's
I'm glad you said. I couldn't even name you one of their starters. I mean, that's again the Milwaukee. I couldn't name you.
I don't know a whole lot, but didn't the Ace win the Cy Young last
Corbin
year?
Burns.
Yeah, Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would eventually come up with
And
him.
then Woodruff was really
Brandon,
good last year.
And then Brandon Woodruff. You remember him, David? He was the starting
Yes.
pitcher at for Tupelo in that first year of the
Well, let me promise you this. I would not have remembered him, but that got mentioned during one of the games I was watching, and that's that's like the guy from Sumter that pitches for the Yankees.
My brother-in-law mentioned to me.
Yeah.
I kept trying to remember who was that guy. Who was that guy? And one day he told me. He said he was just talking. He said, "You remember that guy that played it for Mississippi Tupelo?" And I said, "Yeah, what was it?" He said, "Well, that's Brandon Woodruff." And I got to look and searching, and
and I would say there's probably a handful of players that play in Shelby in the World Series that make it big time.
He was going to Mississippi State then. I guess he did go on to there. That's and then got drafted out of Mississippi.
He did, didn't he, Brett? Didn't we see him pitch for Mississippi State?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we saw him pitch in the World Series. He pitched in the College World Series, if I'm not mistaken.
He might have. I don't. Yeah, it's
because you and I talked about that then when that happened. The Houston Astros beat the Tigers 3-2. Another one of those teams that the Tigers come right out the gates like, we're in contention, and they interviewed Miggy after his 3,000th hit. I think this will be our year. We get back to the playoffs, and now they're 8-17. So back to earth. The Astros just clicking right along with their normal selves, 16-11, even without Springer. They lost Springer and Correa, right?
Yeah, Springer's been gone 2 years now.
Okay.
And Correa went to Minnesota this past.
Yeah. Just lost Correa, before this year.
Did Correa go because of the paycheck, or did he really think that he might make Minnesota? I'm just asking. He might make and they're 16-11. I'm looking at it.
I don't know.
They were pretty good last year. They got off to a horrible start last year.
And I think that was kind of a surprise at Minnesota. You kept hearing. I was hearing Detroit, and the Yankees is where he was going to go. And then, I don't know if
I'm glad for him. I'm glad for Minnesota.
I don't know if he kind of, got lost in the shuffle with the, when the strike started and he hadn't signed yet then, and then he got. I don't know, but that was Minnesota was kind of surprised, and there might be a somewhere down. I don't know how long a contract he signed, Brett.
I'm not sure
because there might be a contract because he got hit on the hand a couple nights ago, and they thought he had broke a knuckle, but now I don't think it was that. But they brought up their number one. I believe they said the number one pick in the draft in 2017, and they brought him up out of necessity. So somewhere down the road there might be a short.
Yeah, what they going to do if he comes up there and hits 400 for the first week, a couple home runs?
But I don't think this guy was expecting him to get there that quick because of the. He'd missed they all had all the minor leaguers. They lost the COVID year, and then last year he missed all last season because of some kind of injury, ACL or something. So
I think these young players, getting them in there, I think they can take you a long way, but I just don't know if you get over the hump and win. You know what I mean? I mean, when you got veteran rosters like Yankees and Dodgers, and I haven't even looked at the complete standings, but if I'm picking today, I'm picking the Yankees and the Dodgers to be in the World Series, and I think a lot of people probably would. Hope not, but I'm picking them.
You're
right. The Twins, we mentioned the Twins. They win 2-1 over the A's last night. Two home runs for the Twins. That's how they get to runs. It looks like. You guys have to tell me. Maybe I got the wrong thing. Buxton and Miranda.
I heard
Buxton. With homer.
Buxton's ninth home run.
His ninth home run.
Yep.
Okay. Well, when you said he's ninth, I thought you was going to say said his ninth, and I thought you said
his ninth.
He's ninth in the league. But.
And right before I left this morning, I turned on TV, and it's early. When you're this early, a lot can change. But said that he was hitting a home run every 10.6 times per bat, which was
that's high. That's very good.
Was the highest in the league at this time.
Right.
Yeah,
but, that's.
I forget who was was behind him. It was like 11.
How many at bats was a normal batter getting in a season, Brett? What's the average? What do you think a normal batter gets in at bats in a season? 600.
Yeah, if they play every
which means
game,
he would hit 60.
Yeah,
that's why it's high. So
I would say an average starter probably gets low 500s just because most of them are going to miss some time.
They give a lot of days off this day and time.
Yeah, right.
The Angels beat the Nationals 3-0. It was the Diamondbacks over the Rockies 4-1. Padres over the Marlins 3-2. Tampa Bay, that team that just will never go away. Well-run organization is all I can say. They are 17-10 on the season. They beat the Mariners last night in the Pacific Northwest by a score of 8-7. Cardinals over the Giants. I was watching some of this game and fell asleep with it scoreless. I don't know what inning, whenever they first maybe broke the ice and scored, but the Cardinals went on the road against the Giants by a score of 3-2. And then I heard this. This is something major for Major League Baseball. 6 games rained out.
Yeah.
When's the last time we had 6
Wow.
rained out? I'm sure somebody's talking about that this morning. When the last time might have been, but 6 games rained out last night. The Dodgers and Cubs in Chicago. The Pirates and Reds in Cincinnati. So, yeah, the 3-22 Reds were glad for the
They won last night then, I guess.
Not losing was a win, right. The Royals in Baltimore did not get played. The Mets in Philadelphia did not get played. As you can see a trend here, pretty much all Northeast except with the Midwest Cubs. And the Yankees-Rangers did not get to play last night, nor did the Blue Jays and the Guardians. And I could swear I said more than 6, but it was just 6. I went back and counted. Seemed like it. Seems like a long list when you've got, 15 games?
Wow, yeah.
And that's 2/3 of them.
2/3 of them,
right
it
there.
is.
1/3 of them, excuse me. Math's not good.
Right.
I'm doing a Mike Powell math.
6.
1/3 of them not getting played on this particular night. So a rundown of Major League Baseball. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take our first time out. We'll look at the standings, just kind of see how everybody is doing in Major League Baseball. We're around anywhere from 25, 27 games for most of these teams. And it looks like we got some races heated up already. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call Remember today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
And welcome back, Sports Talk. David and Brett Keever along with Lenny Anthony this morning, and texts coming in about Lenny's insightful input into Major League Baseball coming from a Yankee fan. Rodney says, loving Lenny's insightful contributions to y'all's MLB discussion this morning. He seems to fit right in at the table.
We'll incite him, but I didn't enjoy telling you that, but I knew you'd enjoy it.
Yep, Rodney, loyal listener of ours. One of well, I don't even know what number to give, but one of quite a few that we appreciate tuning in and listening each and every week. And we're going to mention Rodney's son Seth, who's at Caldwell Community College and having a really good year on the mound up there. So we'll see what happens in the future. Already got a text from Denny Hoover this morning as well, and we'll see what it is. Open it up after the Major League Baseball segment and see what he's got going on. Denny has been a traveling man during this baseball season. I made a trip with him to Elon, and 2 days later he sends me a picture, and he's in Orlando watching Central Florida and East Carolina go at it. So, and I'm sure he's traveled more and more since those trips. And I'm not speaking to you, your New York Yankees are in first place in the American League East, 18-7, and as hot as they've been, and they have really been hot, 10-3 at home, 8-4 on the road, run differential plus 49. 9 of their last 10, and the only reason they've won 9 of their last 10 is because they had a 10-game win streak or more. What was it? What did it get up to?
Got to 11, I think.
11.
I believe.
But then they lost a 2-1 game to Toronto
Yes.
or Baltimore. I can't remember now.
Toronto, I believe.
Toronto. But even though they have been that hot, they still just have a 2-game lead over Tampa and a 3-game lead over Toronto. And I really think those two squads will challenge them all year long. I do not think Baltimore and Boston can at this point. Actually, the Orioles sit a half a game on top of the Red Sox right now. Can you imagine that? 8.5 back and 9.5 back, respectively, in that division. You know, you probably remember this being a Boston fan. Last year, the Red Sox opened the season at Baltimore and got swept. They lost 3 in a row, but they bounced back, and they bounced back quick.
Right.
Last year, I don't think they ever got to a
I remember
record.
you talking about, it looked like it's going to be a long year after that.
I don't think they ever got to 7 games below 500 though, and that's where they stand right now. 7 games under 500 after just 27 games played. That's not a good pace to be on. And Alex Cora just has a puzzled look on his face when they show him on camera during some of those games. Is that, you know, maybe he's trying to, he don't have the answers of how to fix it right now. It doesn't look like. In the Central, Minnesota's 16-11, and maybe it was the acquiring of Correa. Who was the Twins shortstop before? Who got pushed out?
I'm not sure.
Me either. The Cleveland Guardians are in second place with a below 500 record.
I was going to say, I thought everybody in that division
They are.
was below 500.
They are. And some of these teams are better than that.
Oh, yes.
Like the White
White
Sox.
Sox.
They're the first one comes to my mind. But the White Sox are tied with the Guardians. I want to say Indians. I like how it still ends in Ians.
Yeah.
D-I-A-N-S, so Dians.
And you were talking about the Tigers. You know, they keep saying they're going to be, and now I'm here maybe another year. You know, you were talking earlier about young, you know, hard to win with young personnel. Maybe that's –
you know, they've always been a team I'd like to follow. I hate that the only time I've ever been in Detroit, I hate the fact they were out of town.
Right.
They weren't playing in town. I wanted to go to a game there. But it's just that's a once proud baseball franchise that's just been on the bottom for quite a while, you know. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, they were winning. They were winning divisions. They was winning pennants, and they were winning world championships. Been a while. When is Detroit's last world championship? Do you have to go all the way back? Surely not all the way back to.
I don't remember
Trammell
winning
and
one.
Whitaker.
I know they made it to the World Series
And who beat
10 or
them?
12 years ago.
Did they?
I
Is
want
that-
to say St. Louis beat them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know they beat the Pod, but I know one, I believe it was 83, the Padres. I believe it was 83. I might be wrong about that, but
How
I think they've won one since then, I think.
was that the Steve Garvey Padres at that time?
Could have been.
I think he
could have
went to
been.
them early in the early
I
80s
believe
after
it
leaving the Dodgers.
Probably was.
Yeah, can't name too many players.
And
So
I'm not
I
sure.
bet on
I
that
think it was
Padre team.
83, but I'm just
Well, I know. Okay, the Orioles won it sometime in there
yeah.
around then, and because I think the Orioles beat the Phillies in a World Series around 82 or 83, something like that. But
It says
But I think they won another before since then, but I'm not remembering.
it says they won it in '84.
That might have been it. Was that the Padres?
Yeah, they beat San Diego.
Okay, I knew it was right around 83, 84.
And then, yeah, they've won 4 total. That was their most recent.
Okay.
The other ones were in 35, 45, and 68.
68 was St. Louis.
and what was most recent?
84.
I was reading a text there, and
They've been in the World Series twice since then, 06 and 2012.
and you said they lost one of those to.
One of those was St. Louis.
Yeah. Okay, so what you're looking at, don't tell the opponent. Because I was trying to think of who the other one might have been. Yeah.
Would you say, oh, what?
But that's doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who they lost to. That's neither here nor there. They are in last place, tied basically in the win column, tied with the Royals.
The 68 was St. Louis. That was that's the only reason that was about the time I started watching it was.
And wasn't it maybe I'm wrong about this, wasn't it a Detroit Tigers catcher that Pete Rose ran over in the All-Star game that's still shown today?
That was Ray Vossi.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, so he was
Was Freehand the catcher for the Tigers?
Yeah, Freehand was the catcher. Yeah, it was Ray Vossi. That's pretty much they claimed ended Vossi's. It didn't end it. He continued to play, but they were talking about he was going to be a superstar,
And
it
never at that
kind of
status
derailed
again.
it. I believe it was Cleveland when he hit him, but I think he maybe finished with Oakland, maybe. I mean, he played several more years, but that was. But you're right. Freehand was the catcher on that 68.
Of the Tigers team, yeah. The Angels lead this surprised me already. I'll just go ahead and tell you. 7 out of 10 they've won, plus 30 on the run differential. Very consistent, 9-5 at home, 9-5 on the road. The L.A. Angels, still not the best team in Los Angeles, right, Brett?
No.
But they lead the Astros
They're not in Los Angeles.
a game and a half. Yeah. Well, they like to pretend they are.
Yeah.
Seattle is 5.5 out. The Rangers 6 out, and the Oakland A's 7 games out. So maybe things aren't working out quite as well for the A's. Now,
I think they've been on a losing streak too. They had
7.
They started way early.
7 in a row. Currently on that losing streak. Yeah, they've lost 7 in a row. The Mariners have lost 5 in a row. The Detroit Tigers have lost 3 straight, and the Red Sox have lost 3 straight. The Red Sox have also lost 7 out of their last 10. Major League Baseball contest, we'll put it that way. It's supposed to be Major League Baseball. Maybe everybody's not participating at that level at this point. National League, the Mets seem like they cooled off a little bit over the past week. Just won 6-4 over the last 10. Still 19-9. Still a comfortable lead.
I was watching the Mets and Phillies a couple
I did
nights
too.
ago.
Love those Phillies throwbacks.
Yeah.
Those were awesome.
When I turned the game on, it was in the 9th
Is that the
inning,
one that made a 6
and it was 7-1.
I didn't see
And
it.
Lindor hit a home run to make it 7-3. And then the next batter was
He didn't hit a grand slam.
Pete Alonso. He hit a double, and there were still no outs. And I thought, I'm gonna watch and see how close they can get it. And they came all the way back and took the lead and won the game. They closed it out in the bottom of the 9th and won it.
I did not realize that.
8-7.
Because guess what? I did not do what you did. I didn't. When it was 7-1,
Yeah,
I said,
and that's when I started watching when it was 7-1 and stuck with it.
I seen that the next morning,
and they came back and beat
They
them.
told how many games have been played, and I cannot remember how many games have been played where it's a 6-run league going.
Yeah,
Where they had the last time somebody had come back from that, and it was just a phenomenal.
It's rare.
It was a phenomenal
rare.
number.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. That's just kind of pretty much.
it said.
What does that say for the Phillies bullpen?
I think it said the Mets all time had entered the 9th inning down 6 or more 380 something times, and never that was their
Never.
first time
Oh,
they
and
come back
380?
and won. Yep.
They can put a 1 in that spot now. Usually, if you see teams score a lot of runs late like that, they were already ahead, and they just like pile it on, and the teams don't put their better pitchers in because it's at that point it's just a gimme. But yeah, that is surprising. I did not. So how did they score? Give me the innings that they were down 7-1
In the 9th.
in the 9th.
They scored 7 in the top of the 9th.
In the 9th.
I didn't know they did it all in one
Yeah,
inning.
all in the 9th.
Wow. That's got to be a sickening loss
And
at home for the
Yeah.
Philly.
Oh yeah. It was.
And you know how.
it was bad, and there were a lot of Mets fans mixed in there, and they were loud.
Oh yeah, I bet they were. I wouldn't want to try to fight my way out of that stadium after they came back and beat the Phillies, because Phillies are some hardcore fans, and they're also very loyal, but they also are always on edge.
And they did it with 8 hits. There were no walks, no errors. They were just the bats just came to life.
Pitching, right? Pitching wins games. Bullpens win games. Bullpens wins championships. And evidently the Phillies got lit up that night. I wish I would have stayed awake and watched that last inning. Mets 19-9. Marlins in second place, 12-14. 2 games below 500. The Braves were 12-16. The Phillies 11-15, and the Nationals 9-19. 10 games out already behind the hot New York Mets. The Brewers lead the Central 19-8. 2.5 over the Cardinals, 7.5 over the Pirates, 8.5 over the Cubs, and 15 over the Reds. Are the Cubs back where we have so long seen them? Are they back at that status where no chance? I don't even know their roster. I just know that players like Rizzo and who was the other superstar they had?
Chris Bryant, Baez. They're all gone.
Why is that? It's not like they don't have.
I don't know.
It's not like they don't have the cash flow either. I mean,
I don't know why they've went that route.
Yep. And is Theo still there? GM?
No, he's not there.
Is he
so.
gone? Theo Epstein.
Yeah,
he's into something else now.
Doesn't he
isn't
work for Major League Baseball now?
I believe maybe he does. I believe you're right. Yeah, he's not there.
I thought an NFL team tried to hire him one time, and I don't know how you can translate that, but you know what I mean. But I really thought that there was one tried to hire him.
I think he works for MLB.
I believe he is for MLB. I believe you're correct.
And MLB can pay you more in a role than Cubs could to be. Maybe the Cubs didn't want him anymore. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that. In the West, Dodgers lead with a record of 16-7, 10-2 at home, just 6-5 on the road, Brett.
I don't know why they've had a lot of days off. I know yesterday they were rained out, but they've played 23 games, and most of these teams have played 27. I don't know why their numbers lower than. I mean, I think they've played the fewest games in all of baseball.
It appears. I haven't noticed anybody.
They're going to play 2 today
27.
if the weather allows it.
Now the Cubs have just played 24.
Have they had
Pirates have just played
rainouts earlier?
24.
No, just days off. I mean, yesterday was the first time they've been rained out,
That just means they're going.
and they're making it up today.
They'll be playing a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many though. You're saying a couple games, 4 games. As far as
That just seems like a lot through.
that many.
Yeah, through only 20.
5,
yeah.
6, 7 ball games. Yeah.
Dodgers on top. Padres are virtually even. They have 2 more wins and 2 more losses. Do the Padres? That's what Brett was looking at, I'm sure. The Rockies 15-11, 2.5 out. They've been pretty hot. They did. I know it says 5-5, but I think they won 5 in a row this past week to overcome a losing streak. 15-11, 2.5 out, but I don't see them being able to stay up there at the top with those other 2 teams all year. The Giants might be the surprise in that division. They're just 14-12, and we usually kind of think they'll be.
They've been on a kind of losing streak too. What's their last 10 ball games?
3-7. They've lost the last 5.
They had won early. They were
5 straight losses. And then the Diamondbacks 14-13. What was Bumgarner in news about this week?
got ejected, I believe.
I don't know. Did he?
believe
I don't know.
I think that's what it was.
First inning ejected, but I don't know.
First
know
inning.
what it was about. But
First inning. It's because he was with the Diamondbacks.
Well, he made that choice.
Yep. I would say it's like being in a swarm of bees.
They were.
But
you was talking about ejections. I saw the.
Yeah, he did. He pitched his most recent start. He pitched 1 inning, so
a full inning.
He did pitch a full inning, so he either got ejected walking off the mound after that inning
the
was
first
over,
batter.
or before he got an out in the second.
You were speaking of ejections. I saw that Scherzer, he got ejected the other night, and but he wasn't playing.
Oh boy!
Yeah, he was just barking from the dugout.
Made him leave, huh?
And then they got, I believe it's old Plesac on baseball. He went back and looked. Because, he's pretty fiery when he's on the mound,
Right.
And went back and looked to see if he'd ever been ejected before, and he'd been like 9 years, and he was the same way. He's in the dugout.
Really? He figures that's the best time to get his words in.
Yeah.
Because if he gets thrown out, so be it. So be it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the team.
That's right. Not going to hurt the team. Not going to hurt the team. Let's see. Just looking at some of these real quick. Anything excuse me, in baseball come to your attention that something we need to keep an eye on, somebody that's a surprise up or down, or a player?
I don't know if this means anything. Steve K probably don't want to hear this because he's a big Reds fan, but they were talking, I heard this middle of the week, talking about the Reds, 3-22.
That's unbelievable.
And they were and it went on to say they started the year 2-2.
Ooh.
Said it was 1-20. The only thing it could measure up to that was Baltimore starting 0-21.
Yeah, what year was that?
I
remember Brady.
Didn't
they have Brady Anderson in that lineup?
88, 89.
Billy Ripken. but yeah, that was that's very.
But
Oriole-like, isn't it, out of the Reds.
But the guy told this, and this blew my mind. And it's Steve. I'm just repeating this. This was before Friday. Well, they didn't play.
He's cussing them worse than you are.
They didn't play. They didn't play yesterday, so it's still in effect, I guess. They have give up more runs this year than they've got hits as a team. That just blew my mind. You know,
that is not a good combination for winning, is it? Not a good combination for winning. Real quick, Manny Machado is leading the let's see, I thought I was looking for – okay, this is not broke down by National League and American League. And who cares, because they all play each other now. Manny Machado with the Padres is hitting 382.
His teammate's in second.
His teammate is
Eric
in second.
Hosmer.
Hosmer 371. Andrew Benintendi, Kansas City.
354.
Yeah, ain't that something? You like that, don't you, Lenny?
Yeah.
354.
I saw that the other day.
Jeff McNeil, he didn't even hit 154.
I was going to say, didn't
in Boston.
Benintendi have a couple really bad years?
He did.
Not just in Boston, but when he got out of Boston,
Did
I think he had a bad year.
Well, he's pretty hot right now. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean he'll finish that way.
Well, he
but
had
maybe
been
he's
gone
found
for
his
1
groove.
year. This is his second year at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's hitting 354. Jeff McNeil with the Mets 348. J.P. Crawford, Seattle 347. Home runs, when you only got to hit them 240 feet, it should be a Yankee, right, leading in home runs. And it is. Anthony Rizzo has 9. C.J. Cron with Colorado. I bet most people listening couldn't have named that. That young man that's in second place with 9. Also, actually tied with 9.
Yeah, there's 4 of them
Yep.
with 9.
Yep.
2 Yankees.
Byron Buxton with Minnesota and Aaron Judge with the Yankees. Also, they shouldn't even count theirs. You know, I mean, because I saw the second baseman go back on one of those pop-ups the other day, and it went up 4 rows into the bleachers. Let's see, RBIs. Jose Ramirez for Cleveland, 29, leads the way there. Most hits, Manny Machado with 39. Ty France with Seattle, a name I'm very unfamiliar with, has 35. Xander Bogaerts third on that list, Lenny, with 34. Eric Hosmer with the Padres, 33, and Cesar Hernandez, Washington, with 33. Real quick through the pitching before we take our next time out. Wins. Looks like quite a group tied with 4 here, and I'm not even going to be able to pronounce half the names. Tyler McGill, not spelled like the McGill you see around here. McGill, yeah. With the Mets, Logan Gilbert, Seattle, Joe Musgrove with the Padres, Max Scherzer with the Mets has 4 wins, and Alek Manoah with Toronto with 4 wins. ERA goes to Merrill Kelly, Arizona, 1.22. Pablo Lopez, Miami, 1.29. Then comes Manoah, Mikolas with the Cardinals, and Rodon, the NC State boy. Rodon, 1.55. And where did he wind up?
He's at San Francisco.
San Francisco.
He's been good. That's for them so far.
There it is, right beside me, right beside my words, San Francisco. 12 saves already for Jordan Romano of Toronto. That means you got to be winning some games to get. They got more saves than Red Sox got wins, right? Lenny, that's not very good either.
No.
Shane McClanahan leads in strikeouts with 47. And quality starts. This is one of the best stats ever, right? Quality starts. They got a stat now for just quality starts. Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, Alek Manoah with 5, Justin Verlander, and Merrill Kelly with 4. What determines a quality? And I'm sure it's
you gotta go
numbers.
6 innings and
Is
allow 3 or less earned runs.
Is that
It's
right?
quality start.
That's a quality
Okay.
start.
Do you like having a stat like that mixed in with those
It
other?
doesn't matter. I think that number's probably going to be less now because a lot of teams aren't making their pitchers go more than. I've seen the Dodgers pull their starting pitcher after 5 innings.
It probably don't
A lot this year.
don't affect good for us, but from a contract point of view, when you
Yeah,
come to negotiate, look,
they probably looked that up already anyway,
that's
didn't
good
they?
for the players, But as far as I kind of agree. You don't,
It sure beats the to me it beats the heck out of that WAR stat.
Yeah, wins above replacement. I've never totally figured that one out.
Well, I'll tell you this. We're winning with our replacement today in the studio. Our war is way up, Mike Powell. Sleep in, Mike Powell.
He's a legend.
We're going to take a time out. Appreciate you tuning in. Back with more sports talk in a moment.
Down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call for Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back. Beautiful morning outside. Let's keep it that way. I see a few clouds though. There are some high clouds out there. Don't think any rain causing clouds. That's what I'm looking for. Got a couple of things rolling in here. Tell Lenny to be easy on the Reds. Go Padres. I give up on the Reds. That comes from Denny Hoover. Give up on the Reds. So what's the Padre connection? Did you just try to go with somebody that nobody in the United States likes? I'll tell you what. Good weather town.
Yeah.
It looks like it's always just perfect weather.
You got to have somebody to pull for it during the long season, isn't it, Denny?
San Diego, yeah.
I think we're going to be looking for somebody to pull forward. It looks like this year.
Yep. I don't know who that. Well, my other options probably aren't doing real well either.
Or pull against. That might be a better word.
Yeah, well, I do that every year too in several sports. But that's very interesting. I like that. Go Padres! I give up on the Reds. On the Reds. When is that from this year, Denny, or is that like you gave up on the Reds a while back? Okay, let's do this. Is it okay to give up on a team and switch?
Well, I've been thinking about it for years in the NFL, but I still hadn't done it.
You've earned the right because the Commanders have, as soon as you give up on them, they'll be a playoff team.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll win a Super Bowl.
They need a new owner.
Yeah, they do.
I think if they switched owners, they would be. And I don't know if that's the same thing. Can you say the same thing about the Cincinnati Reds? I don't even know who their owner is now.
I have no idea.
Which tells you something, I guess. If you don't, they're not making any news except bad news.
Well, when Marge Schott was the owner, she was a name and face that everybody recognized.
Yeah.
And now
maybe not in a good way.
Yeah.
But
it brought them attention.
Now it's just an unknown, which, I mean, I would love for the Washington football team to have an unknown owner.
That would help.
Because Daniel Snyder's name and picture comes with a lot of negativity.
Right.
Oh, now I understand. It makes perfect sense why Denny is pulling for the Padres. Now this is the funny part. He's just pulling for this guy because he was an East Carolina recruit, not because he ever set foot.
Goer.
Yep. Not because he ever set foot.
Well, maybe he ought to be an Angel fan.
But
because Mike Trout was going to East Carolina too.
Really? I didn't realize that. Where's Trout from originally?
New Jersey.
Is he?
Yeah, it's somewhere up
New Jersey or Philly. So it's one of those.
You're right.
I know he's an Eagles fan, so it could be either. It could be either one of those.
He doesn't put me in the mind.
He might be
just
from,
wants to fight every
he
time
might be
somebody
from
looks at
Brooklyn. I don't know where he's from.
I've heard it's Mills. I don't.
Wouldn't
know,
that be something if you looked it up and
I
he
think
played in Brooklyn?
it's kind of out in a rural area, but as rural as New Jersey can be.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore, ECU recruit from Whiteville, North Carolina, is a pitcher for the Padres. Yes, I've seen him pitch a little bit for the Padres, and the 2 times I've seen him pitch, he looked very sharp.
Would have been good.
Hot read: Mayhew throws no-hitter for 9 innings before ECU breaks through in extras for a 4-1 win. So that's something Denny has sent me as well. Mayhew is a Crest High School graduate that pitches for the East Carolina Pirates. It says the lefty threw a career-high 101 pitches, striking out 9, and faced 1 over the minimum, 28 batters instead of to a minimum of 27, before being pulled in the 10th inning. You never see that in the major leagues, would you? I mean, pitch count, that's low for 10 innings, being pulled in the 10th, 101.
Yeah.
When you get into the 10th, he's throwing a lot of strikes. He was not wasting many pitches. Denny says he has met Mackenzie Gore, and he was a great kid. So he is now what we call a rich kid. As well. I don't even know what kind of contract he signed, but I'm sure.
Whatever his signing bonus I know was enormous.
Mm-hmm. Rodney says, speaking of Hoover, Lane Hoover is really hitting well for East Carolina. He's among the American Athletic Conference leaders in several categories, tied for second with a .364 batting average, and in hits with 63 hits. Also among the top 10 in stolen bases and doubles and runs scored in that conference as well. Yes, Lane is having a very good year. Rodney takes us back to the Bumgarner event on whatever night it was, sometime midweek, that he got tossed. The end of the first inning, Bumgarner came off the mound. First base ump was checking him for foreign substance on his pitching hand. Ump was rubbing his hand but not even looking at it and staring at Bumgarner instead. Ump seemed a little odd or weird. I don't know. He should have just told him that's tobacco spit where I come from, right? I don't know if the ump had a fetish. This is what Rodney says now. A fetish, or was trying to prove some kind of point, or what. Bumgarner took exception to it and shared his thoughts, which ultimately led to the ejection. So, well, he's always been a little on the edge. You know, nothing wrong with that either. I think it's made him. I think it's made him a better pitcher.
What makes him what he is.
Yep. But yeah, that does. I don't know. That does surprise me.
And sometimes the umpires want to be more of the game than they are.
Want everybody to make sure that they know that they're in charge of the situation. There was another thing I was trying to find here real quickly. Let's see, that I did want to mention. The Region 10 Division III baseball tournament, which includes some of the local community colleges like Caldwell, where Seth Willis is playing his baseball and pitching quite well, I might add. But this thing's going to get let's see, when was the first day? Started yesterday on Friday, and Surrey beat Rockingham 16-1 in 5 innings. Other game postponed due to weather, and that was Caldwell taking on Thomas Nelson Community College. They will get more involved today now that the weather appears to be back on track and looking pretty good. Don't forget that tournament's going on at Moore Park in Mooresville. Seth on Saturday had a really good outing for Caldwell. 7 innings pitched, 84 pitches thrown, 63 of which were strikes. He didn't waste many pitches either. I told Rodney that he's not wasting his pitches. He's doing well. He would be fit right in for high school with the pitch count the way it is, right? Staying under 100 even. 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk. He allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs in that win, 11-1 last weekend over Thomas Nelson. Don Revel says, Denny won't say it, but I will. Lane broke up a no-hitter last night in the 9th inning. Didn't realize that. Interesting to know. Rodney was listening to that little segment. He sends me one back, says Caldwell plays today at 1. So the game that got rained out yesterday is today at 1. And Seth Willis will be on the mound to start that game today in that tournament. So,
and that is in Mooresville, correct?
Yeah. I always like it when our locals are doing well, and we got more than that. But both of those are doing real well here in the I think Denny's right here. He says, doesn't Sharon Farley's 2 sons play for Caldwell as well? I'm pretty sure one of them does. I don't know about both of them, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Farley's name in there as well. I think Rodney's even sent me some information in the past on the Farleys, and I can't think of their
name.
Darian? What, something like that. Is that it, Brett?
I'm not sure.
Slips my mind right now. But, yeah, a lot of locals. And I'm not going to leave out Alec Burleson, who's
how's he doing?
with the AAA Cardinals. And now, is it Springfield? Is that where that is, Brett? I did something on him just a couple of days back.
Yeah,
I think he went from Peoria, Illinois for 2A to Springfield, Missouri for their AAA. And, he was tearing it up. I mean, just normal. Now it's like with him, it's like when he goes out there and does something, it's not as big a news because the fans are used to it. I think at some point, don't know what the Cardinal situation is in the outfield. Hadn't really looked to see how they're hitting or anything, but I think he's got a shot at getting to St. Louis at some point before this season ends. I mean, you don't wish injury or anything like that on anybody. But stuff happens. I mean, you go in slumps or you get injured or it's time to bring somebody up, bring another bat. He's a home run machine.
Memphis Redbirds.
Memphis, that's it. Memphis, thank you. Memphis Redbirds. So maybe he went from Springfield to Peoria to Memphis.
Yeah.
But, yes, he is a Memphis Redbird because they just played in Charlotte the other week.
He's hitting 265, 6 home runs. And 6 home runs and 83 at-bats.
And while we're on home runs and we're mentioning East Lincoln people, I will mention that Garrett Michelle did hit his 15th earlier this week in a losing effort. East Lincoln, North Lincoln both got beat in their conference tournament semifinals. It was St. Stephen's losing to Ford in the championship, 10-1 in that one. And on the other side in the CVAC, it was Bandy's beating Bunker Hill in the championship game, 16-2. So I think Bandy's maybe went into that with a chip on their shoulder, thinking that maybe people don't think we should have won the conference. That we got to prove we were the best team, and they rolled through the tournament pretty good. So that was congratulations to Bandy's Trojans. The girls also won the softball, beating West Lincoln in the championship game. I want to say 8 or 9-1 in that, but I think they were up at the top. I think West did split with them in the regular season, but Bandy's girls and boys pretty much led from start to finish in those conference races.
Well, and in the Cherville's conference, Burns beat Cherville in the championship game of the conference tournament.
Of baseball?
4-3.
Of baseball.
Yeah. Cherville upset East Gaston.
Yeah, the East Gaston's had a good year.
And Burns beat Shelby, and then Burns beat Cherville 4-3, I think.
Okay, Mike, get up there close to the mic.
4-3 is what. But I thought something was really neat. Burns, the last 4-5 games they played were against Shelby. You ever heard of that? It was Shelby.
Yeah, because they played the same team twice in the league.
And then Bandy's was stuck in there as a non-conference, and then Shelby.
Wouldn't you love that to be your football schedule?
Yeah. and what's really interesting is Burns won all 4. Now that's really unusual that you beat somebody.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Obviously, the better team if you can go out there and beat them 4 straight.
I think they played them in the championship of the Easter tournament. I think, and then the next week it just so happened that their schedule fell. They're back to back, and they played, and then they ended up playing them in the first round of the playoffs.
That's all.
Or when I say playoff, conference tournament.
I do want to give the softball from the Western Foothills 3A. It was 2 Lincoln County teams. They finished first and second in the regular season, and East Lincoln got the trifecta. They beat North 3 times. They beat them in the championship game. I want to say 6-1 maybe in the championship game. East Lincoln's 21-0, and they're going to be entering the playoffs as possibly the number 1 seed in softball. So, and their pitcher is a junior. So, yep, they're going to be that's been a pretty good program over the last 6-8 years. Last year, I want to say they went to the 4th round. They lost a home game like 1-0 or 2-1. That's the way it usually is. The better teams is going to be very low scoring when you get deep in those playoffs. But I can't remember who the team was. Although I was there, I can't remember who the team was that come in there and beat them. But it's one of those programs that you're familiar with, and they're good. They're good just like each and every year. To answer a couple of the questions. Darian Farley starts at second base, and Derek is a first base reserve on that team. So those are both Sharon Farley's kids. Rodney says both really good young men. Darian and Seth will be going to Tusculum next year as teammates. So that's good to hear as well. Let's see.
You told me something about Robbie Cowie.
Well, that's
this
funny.
week.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
Denny.
want to make sure that got
Denny
mentioned.
sends me the reminder. Robbie Cowie out of Lincoln High School, one of only 2 Catawba College players to make all conference. Robbie's the closer for the Catawba
Indians.
There you go. I was making sure they hadn't changed it.
Him and
They are being protested, though.
Chris
I've heard.
Robinson together at
Yes.
Catawba
Yes, they are.
College.
Yeah.
Playing different sports, but
Yep.
once basketball teammates.
Robbie named all conference on that, and I can't remember. I did hear who the other one was, and it slips my mind right now. I can't remember what position he played, but I think he well, obviously, I'm pretty sure he's a position player, not another pitcher. But I just want to recognize. Oh, Denny, don't ever apologize for any of that. Sorry, just want to recognize these young men. Burley is a Memphis in AAA, and he's talking about Burleson. Brent Urey and Andrew Patrick won conference tournament for Lenore Ryan. That's Brett Urey. Played at West Lincoln and East Rutherford a few years back. Andrew Patrick, I think, was at Bandy's. And both really good players. And they were part of a conference tournament winning team for Lenore Ryan, beating Wingate. That says a lot right there because was Wingate national champs last year?
It was last year, I think.
So not just locally champion, but Wingate I think was national champion.
National, yes.
And always a solid baseball program. Also got this, and you hear this term a lot, but I bet you don't hear it like it translates to me this morning. You want to bet. You know, somebody will say something and you'll argue with them, and then you'll say, "You want to bet?" That's not what this one means. This one really is serious about, do I want to place a bet today at the Running of the Roses, the Kentucky Derby going on today. That thing gets seemed to push back like the Super Bowl does every single year. So I'm wondering, with that said, when will it be ran? What time today will the Kentucky Derby be ran? You know, because
It's
does the track
between
have
6
lights?
and 7. Is
Probably.
that when they actually?
Years
used to
ago
be-
it was around
Is it-
3 o'clock,
Yeah.
then 4
And
o'clock.
then it was about between 5 and 5:30. I know I used to.
I
be
think
out-
it might be after 6 now.
I used to be doing something out in the yard, and I'd come in, and it's still.
Yeah.
Now they run that ticker, tell you how much time.
I like to watch a little bit of that, but it's just like the Super Bowl
Yeah.
stuff. After about 30
Yeah.
minutes, the stories, I mean, you know, they just seem to get a little old. I'm looking here on the ESPN headlines, trying to find a place that there would be a headline for this Kentucky Derby, and unless I'm overlooking it, I don't see it. But now one of the headlines on here concerns Bumgarner. Scott said it'll be close to 7 o'clock tonight on NBC. Yep, and we'll see a lot of Randy Moss, but it's not the one you're thinking about. You know who I'm talking about? There is a horse racing guru,
Yeah.
specialist named Randy Moss. He does not look anything like the former Hall of Fame wide receiver, or the future Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? Is Randy in the Hall of Fame yet?
I would think
He
so.
should be, shouldn't he?
he's been
Should
out
be.
more
Well,
than
he should be.
He's
but
been
I-
out more than 5
that-
years.
I
hasn't
think
he?
There's a lot of people there.
Oh
that
no,
should
he'd be
be.
a first ballot
I think
Hall of
he
Famer.
has. I
He's got to
think
be.
Can't remember.
I have never seen a wide receiver come into the NFL and make an impact like he did.
Yeah, one of the 2 greatest receivers of all time, in my opinion.
And the other is
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
I don't know which one I would choose.
Yeah, but still today they have the debate: would you take Moss or Terrell Owens? You know, but I will tell you this: Owens, he's got a lot of records. He's done a lot of things as a receiver. Like him or not, his production on the field was very good. But he's done a lot of things that other guys hadn't done. I saw a stat on him the other day. I don't remember what it was, but maybe caught a touchdown on every other team against every team in the NFL. Every team, including the ones that he once played for. You know, so he had to play against them at some point. So he's
we'll
caught a
correct. I think it was Packer and Durham. Somebody had seen him in the airport and run
T.O.?
up to him. Yeah, wanting his always said Terrell, and it's Turl.
Did they?
That's what he said. So.
Well, sign it and I'll read it.
Yeah, sign it and I can read. Right.
You don't have to pronounce it right on your signature. However you want to pronounce it on your signature. But the all these headlines on here, the one that caught my eye: veteran umpire apologizes for Bumgarner ejection. How about that? The veteran umpire involved in this, and it sounded like a weird situation after what Rodney had sent me there with all those details, but that is odd that you see an umpire.
Yeah.
You know, you think Major League Baseball is behind that? Dan Bellino issues apology after ejecting Madison Bumgarner, taking full accountability for the decision.
Huh.
First inning of Wednesday's game against the Miami Marlins. I would like to address my actions on May 4th involving Madison Bumgarner. That's a quote. When I began my MLB career almost 15 years ago, I received some good advice. I was told to umpire every game as if my children were sitting in the front row. I fell short of those expectations this week. While I can't go back and change what happened, I take full accountability. I will learn from the incident, and I sincerely apologize. Bumgarner was thrown out the end of the inning after a routine check of his hands for a sticky substance. A fierce argument between the two ensued, with the Diamondback personnel needing to restrain Bumgarner. The situation escalated for several minutes before Bumgarner finally calmed down. Bumgarner will not face further discipline. Bumgarner's quoted as saying, "You guys have seen the video. I don't know if I could say anything that would make the situation better." Well, for once, I think he did the right thing there by not saying what he would like to say.
Right.
Not saying what he would like to say. Now, this has led me to something else. I think I saw on TV or on a pop-up ad or something one day that Bumgarner, now you can buy Bumgarner meats. Is that right? Have
Yes,
y'all
you
seen
can.
that? He's got steaks. He's got a steak company.
I think I seen it on Channel 3, something on it.
And maybe it was. I thought I'd seen that. So, his farm up in Caldwell County, producing beef. So,
And somewhere he was, I mean, you can buy it also, but he was supplying it to some restaurant up in the Boone area. I can't remember
Was
now
he?
who it was, but it wasn't him, but his people that worked for him. That
Oh, yeah,
he was had already reported to spring training when they did this particular.
yep. Some of these other, let's see, I don't want to call anything minor because it's not always minor when it's on ESPN. What I was mentioning last night, NHL off ice official injured at Bruins playoff game. So he was not one of the coaches. He was working for the league. An off ice official. Like I said, he is dressed in a suit, coat and tie.
You say it's a timer? Did you come over?
It said something about timeout coordinator.
I don't know much about it. You reckon it's
Somebody that
some of that penalty
logs?
box stuff?
I don't know.
And all, you know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, maybe he's like, at an NFL game during a TV timeout, they'll have a guy come out with like a red flag, and
When
when,
they
the
can go
timeout's
back.
over,
Yep.
Start play.
Yep. Commercials are over. You can play again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess hockey does take their TV timeouts without live action going on.
I don't
right?
know.
I don't either. I'm not sure about that either. But that's I thought that was just one of the strangest things I'd seen. I kind of wish I'd have been watching when the incident happened just to know more about it and be able to tell you more. But I wasn't. Just by chance. The only reason I turned it there was to see if his NBA game on in there, and it wound up being hockey, and it was worthwhile. I watched a good 30 to 45 minutes of that hockey match before. Actually, I guess I just fell asleep. It's the reason I didn't watch anymore, because I woke up and the next one was on Minnesota. And is that right? Would it have been Minnesota?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Yep.
Some other stuff here I don't know the details on. You guys may. Brett may know this. Lakers interview Stotts for the coaching job. Who is that?
He's a former Portland coach. I don't think he was there this year. I think it was a couple years ago. But that's all I can really tell you about him.
He won't be the only one they interviewed.
No, they interviewed Mark Jackson.
Okay.
Who's been out of coaching for several years, just doing the commentary on ESPN.
And good at it.
Seemed like it was going to interview somebody that the Hornets were going to interview.
I think
too, but
that's.
I can't remember who.
I think Mark Jackson. I think the Hornets have reached out to Mark Jackson. I don't know if they've interviewed him, but I think they want to.
Hornets need a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
That's what they need.
One
They
name
can score. They
One
can't
name
stop
I'd
anybody.
heard was D'Antoni. That was one of the Hornets.
yeah.
And the others were seemed like assistants.
Mark
Yeah,
D'Antonio?
yeah,
Now, he
D'Antoni.
was a longtime coach at
Houston.
Houston.
And Phoenix.
Pretty good track record, right?
Knicks.
But there again, he's
They said he was 71.
He was really good.
71 years old.
When he
he's
had-
not a defensive coach, though,
No.
is he?
No, he's offensive.
He was really good when he had Steve Nash, and then he did a good job when he had James Harden kind of running the show. And that, if you think about the way LaMelo Ball plays, I think D'Antoni might be a good fit as far as their offense. But like you said, they give up a lot of points.
Do you even look at 71 and let that be a concern or not?
Not really, because you're not
You got-
you're not thinking you're going
No.
go after a coach that's going to be there for 20 years, not in the NBA.
Not in the NBA, you're right.
You know,
Jay Wright.
If you get 5 years out
Jay
of him,
Wright.
I think you'd be.
Well,
Jay Wright.
he said that
Jay Wright.
might be an option down the road, but he didn't talk like
That would be way down the road.
soon,
Philadelphia to Charlotte's way down the road.
Yeah. There was another name mentioned.
Maybe that's what he meant.
Kenny Atkinson, is that name? Said he's an assistant with.
I'll tell you one
I
thing.
don't-
Though.
I don't know him.
I didn't.
If I'm Jay Wright, I'm not looking to go to Charlotte and coach a franchise that's not had a lot of success. He's probably looking to be in New York,
The
Los
Sixers,
Angeles,
yeah,
Right.
Knicks,
Philly. At some point, if Philly can't get, who's Philly's coach right now?
Doc Rivers.
He was a name that they were saying depending on what happened.
I don't think he'll be with Philly much longer.
It's who? Tell me.
Doc Rivers.
Okay. God, I've always liked Doc, but Doc just
I like him too, but he's
never got a championship.
I don't
has
think
he?
he's
Never got a championship.
Yeah,
as a head
in Boston.
coach.
Yep,
Yeah,
in Boston.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate that one.
2008.
Yeah, seems like 1908. Been a long time for the
And then
Celtics.
he went to the Clippers for a long time, and they always had a really good roster, but they underachieved.
Really, the only other headline on here I was looking at that let's see, maybe it's not even. Well, it says Raiders. Ventrell, I don't even know who this Ventrell is. It said the Raiders fired me for raising concerns, and I don't know what that might be. Maybe Rodney might know something about what's going on with that. But let's see, Dan Ventrell, whose abrupt departure as Las Vegas Raiders team president, announced in a statement by owner Mark Davis on Friday, released his own statement later, alleging he was fired in retaliation for bringing concerns of multiple employees about hostile workplace conditions, organizations in the NFL. That's we're looking at another Washington Commanders situation maybe there. It looks like. Hope not, but they'll be. If he feels like he got fired for bringing up concerns, it's not the end of the story, right? There'll be lawsuits. Something will come out, don't you think? Where you got there, Lenny? What you got?
I got a trivia question here.
I'm glad you do, because guess what? I didn't have any music or sports trivia, either one today. Prepared.
I tried to answer this the other day, and I got two parts. I got two of them. Here's the Dusty Baker got his 2000th win this week as a manager. Only 4 other active managers have 1,000 wins and a winning percentage that good.
Mm-hmm.
Who are those 4?
That's perfect to lead us into a timeout. Think about that. Baker got 2,000 wins this week, and only 4 other managers can say that?
Active.
4 other active
managers right now for the big leagues.
I wouldn't even thought that.
No.
Have 1,000.
1,000.
Oh,
not
1,000.
2,000.
And
1,000.
And a winning percentage that good of 53.4%.
I'll see how many I can guess.
I got 2.
We'll take a timeout. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back. Sports Talk. The fourth quarter. Oh, messages coming in. Let's see what we got here. Rodney Willis says, Showalter and LaRussa. To Lenny's question. Repeat your question again.
I'll repeat it.
So people will know exactly what we're looking for.
Dusty Baker got his 2,000th win this week. His winning percentage is .534. Only 4 other active managers have 1,000 wins and a winning percentage that good. Who are the 4? You got one of them.
Just one?
Didn't you say? He said
Showalter does not qualify.
Showalter is not one of them. LaRussa is.
And you said Showalter had the wins, but not the winning percentage.
Right.
To be in that category.
Rodney, that was one of my choices too. So I got 2 of the 4 right.
Yep. Showalter, a long time with the Orioles, and then Yankees for a while, right?
I heard this on TV, so I was playing the game too, and I got 2 of 4.
LaRussa was managing the Cardinals when I was born.
Yeah. Well, he has 2,800 wins, I believe, 2,800 and something. I mean, he was and his winning percentage was .536. So his winning percentage is a little bit. Just slightly ahead of Baker's. But
I was telling Lenny during the break, I saw the Braves and the Dodgers play when Dusty was. I know I saw Dusty in Atlanta as a Brave, but then he went to L.A. And when they returned, I saw Dusty in his Dodger uniform in Atlanta live. And before the game, they actually did a home run derby with 3 players from each team. And I know Dusty was one. I told you Pedro Guerrero, I'm pretty sure, was one. Can't remember the third one. The Braves had to be Dale Murphy and Bob Watson and somebody. I mean, that's been a few years back, obviously. But I remember that. And I don't even know if they do stuff like that anymore. I mean, they're so strict on what they can and can't do that they get out there and hitting the home run derby and get injured and you miss the guy for the year. And I kind of understand that because none of that derby stuff's included in their contract, So Also, get this comment as well. Umpire was wrong to bait him, and this is talking about the Bumgarner situation. Umpire was wrong to bait him, but it stems from him trying to intimidate umpires over the year, and the home plate guy was a new AAA umpire, and this veteran umpire took offense to his attitude, which has never been a choir boy. He's never been a choir boy in his career, but that probably helps his competitive drive. On the other hand, I remember him and Joe West with a stare down. Well, I think Joe West probably had a stare down with a lot of pitchers.
Forever, but a lot of people, yeah.
Joe West strike zone is a circle. It's not a rectangle. His is a circle, and that circle gets smaller by inning, it seems like at times. But, yeah, so what you're telling me here, Richard, is that the umpire he was arguing with, the home plate umpire, is that not – that's the way I read this, that's not the one that threw him out. A veteran stepped in.
Didn't you say a base ump?
Is that right? A veteran stepped in?
I don't know.
A veteran umpire stepped in to try and, I guess, diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
But made it worse, I guess, is what it sounds like. That, you know, I always wish you'd be watching when
Well, he said
you can't watch every game, right?
a guy that been umpiring the majors for 15 years or close to 15 years, right?
But that comment came right after he said, umpire was wrong to bait him, but it stems from him trying to intimidate umpires over the year, and the home plate guy was a new AAA umpire.
Oh,
And that's why I'm guessing a veteran stepped in.
And I didn't see it, but maybe
probably the crew chief.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just knew he'd got ejected. Didn't even know what it was about. But it might have been when he come off the field. The AAA, you know, the new one checked him, and the other one come across. You know, maybe there's an issue, and he come across from the first base side. Seemed like I heard somebody say first base side was when, but I don't know.
Well, there's a crew chief in every single, you know, in all of these. Every crew has a chief, and most time I guess they try and step in and not make the younger guys have to go, you know, take all the heat, especially, you know, from – do more pitchers get thrown out today than position players, do you think? Seems like a lot of the stuff we see now over in baseball over the last 5 years or so, maybe more than that, has involved more pitchers. And by the way, got another guest, Joe Girardi.
yeah.
That is correct.
That is one of them.
He's one of them.
So you got LaRussa and Girardi and 2 to go, right?
And he actually has the highest winning percentage of that group, .546.
I hate that. Because I know where he spent most of that time. And who's he managing now? Is he a Philly?
He is, I believe it is Philly.
Is he the Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I bet he was
Yeah.
sick a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Or a couple nights ago, and gave up that big lead to the.
David, here's a hint. Me and you should have known one of them, and I didn't pick him.
Well, that means it's. Well, I'm not even gonna say because I think I heard you say it when I was getting up to go to the restroom.
But
So.
I didn't pick him. That was you would have thought I would have picked this.
And even though he was with our team, he's not anymore, and he's still managing.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
All these guys are.
That ought to really help.
All these guys are active managers.
Yep. And he's been a great guy and a success story everywhere he's been. I'll put it that way too. He's just been a success guy. All right, Brett. Where do we stand? I see Philly finally knocked off the Heat last night to get.
Yep.
And they didn't just knock them off; they manhandled them last night. A 20-point win in Game 3. They still trail 2-1.
Yeah, they got Embiid back. And he didn't play great, but I think the combination of getting him back and being at home, you know, was a big difference. They shot really well. They were only up 3 at the end of the third. They pulled away in the fourth. It's really a low-scoring game. Obviously, Miami only 79 points. I mean, you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
In today's NBA.
Right, especially playoffs.
Philly hit 16 out of 33 threes.
Yeah.
Boy,
how bad was Miami if Butler had 33 of those points?
Yeah.
Had 30. They only scored 40.
And they had
46.
They had 3 3 quarters where they scored 17 or less. Yeah, just an ugly game for Miami.
So Embiid, a lot of people thought he might not play. Is that right?
We missed the first 2.
Okay. So he did make it
He's
back.
coming back from a concussion and the broken, was it a jawbone or something?
So can they still win the series?
Yeah, I think they can. They're still going to have to play better because Miami's not going to shoot that bad, 4 times.
How lopsided were the Miami wins without him? I just wondered.
see.
Just trying to figure if I would put which one I'd put my money on at this point.
Let's see, 14 and 16.
Yeah, so something Embiid could have easily made the difference up in.
And then this one was 20 the other way. So all 3 have been.
Plus, it went back to Philly too.
Yeah.
With him
Playing
there.
at home helps, but
With him there.
which helps more, playing at home or having Embiid.
Oh, yeah, having Embiid.
Having
helps-
Embiid
And when you
helps
got
more.
both,
Yeah.
when you got both,
you basically probably.
they're still in a must-win situation, right? I mean, you're not going to want to go to Miami down three
Shouldn't say that
down
with
3-1.
no Embiid in Miami, really very little chance of winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. The Mavericks beat the Suns 103-94 last night. That gives the Phoenix still up 2-1.
Yeah, so all 4 series now,
Or 2-1.
the other 2 series are 1-1.
1-1,
But,
okay.
but everybody
No sweeps.
has won a game, yeah.
No sweeps. Kind of like the hockey we looked at a while
And
ago.
what
No
what I think are the better 2 series pick back up tonight after 3 days off, which I didn't get.
Golden State and Grizzlies.
They got 3 days off. The other 2 series only got 1 day off. And that's the two number 1 seeds. Miami and Phoenix played on Wednesday,
It's rigged.
and nobody played on Thursday. And then Miami and Phoenix 2 series picked back up last night. So Boston and Milwaukee play today at 3:30. They haven't played since Tuesday. And Memphis and Golden State play tonight at 8:30.
So what's
And
the explanation for the schedule being that way?
I have no idea.
They're not,
But to me, those are the 2 marquee series. Boston just pounded Milwaukee in the last game.
and it's 1-1
Yeah.
and going to Boston.
No,
Going to
to
Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Boston's the higher seed.
Okay.
That's the 2 against the 3.
Mm.
And same in the other one. Memphis is the 2, Golden State's the 3. So they're going back. They're going to Golden State.
Well, let me ask you this: are the other ones 1-4? We had no upsets in opening
Miami
round?
and Philly is 1-4. I don't know what Dallas ended up. Yeah, they're 1-4.
So we had no upsets in the first round. All
Nope.
chalk. That's a little. I guess that's a little bit of a surprise. Usually somebody finds a way, but I don't even think we had a game 7, did we?
No.
No game 7s
Nope.
in round 1. I got a feeling there'll be a game 7
Yeah.
somewhere
Probably.
in this second round.
Teams seem to be getting a little healthier. Devin Booker missed some time with Phoenix. He's back healthy now. Embiid missed a couple games, and he's back. The only one still missing is Chris Middleton from Milwaukee. He's going to miss this whole series.
Right.
The Warriors are healthy. Curry, he missed a game or 2, came off the bench for a while, but he's back now. That's a really entertaining series. Memphis and Golden State. That's, I think, the most fun to watch out of the 4.
If Draymond could stay on the court,
Yeah.
He can't.
not injuries, but
He can't. Getting a couple answers here. First, before I give you some more, let's do the trivial answers so people's got more time. Rodney says Francona. He coached the Sox and has been around a long time. I think he is the
Yes.
manager of the Guardians now, and you're
Yes.
exactly right with that one, Rodney. Let's see.
That's 3.
Denny said LaRussa and Bruce Bochy.
Bochy's
two I can
retired.
think of.
Bochy
would be in it, but
Bochy
he
would
retired.
be, but he's retired.
Yep,
Yeah.
so it has to be active.
Yeah.
No, I didn't look it up, or I would have all 4.
In fact, I think Dusty tied Bochy last night, 2003, I believe.
Is that right?
I seen a ticker running across the bottom.
Then he even corrected himself at the bottom. He says, "Sorry, Bochy retired, I think." But he did say, "I love his line. I know I didn't look it up, or I would have all 4." I like that.
I just heard it on TV, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try. And I got 2 of the 4.
Richard takes us back to the Bumgarner situation. Said no, the umpire did not try to defuse it. He was probably getting on Bumgarner for being a butt. And Bumgarner said the magic word and got ejected. They were not going to let him intimidate the new guy. But the umpire was wrong to bait, although Bumgarner acts like you know what. And he does. He's always spoke his mind and been quick to do so, high-strung. Like we all think, though, he's probably where he is today because of that, that little bit of edge. A lot of edge, not a little bit of edge.
That's part of his mantra.
Yep,
I mean,
it is.
Roger Clemens, that was kind of his.
Yep.
That's his competitive nature.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I mean, I've never really cared much for him, but he is, he's really good, and has been really good, and it's because of how competitive.
He got 1 or
he
2
always
World
has
Series MVPs sitting in his house. He definitely got 1.
Yeah, and he's won 3.
He was on the Giants team.
I think he won all 3. I don't know if he was there yet in 2010.
He was Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year too, I think, in that one stretch in there when that I believe it was one.
It seems like just 1 MVP, but yeah, he was a really good postseason pitcher.
Yes, he was.
And as long as he stays in Arizona, he'll never sniff it again.
And actually didn't bat too bad either when he got the opportunity. I mean, he probably led all pitchers in home runs a time or two.
I'm sure he did.
In a season or two. So, and it seemed like he'd even get a clutch hit. When there was in the playoffs and World Series when his games were being played with no DH, but now those days are over completely. So, when he's through pitching, did we ever figure out could he maybe play DH or first base or something, or you think he's just done the day he can't pitch anymore? He said that's it.
I don't think he's gonna.
I'm the same
I don't
way.
think he'll become a DH.
I think he's probably ready to retire now. It's just, it's a pretty good paycheck.
Right.
I mean, it's a pretty good paycheck coming in, and as long as you can get that paycheck coming in, we'd all be doing it. We'd all still be doing it, right? Today at 3:30, ABC, Celtics and Bucks. So we've already said this one's tied at 1 game apiece. At 8:30 tonight, the Grizzlies and the Warriors. That one is tied at 1 game apiece. But surely, Brett, the Warriors they're the lower seed here.
Yeah.
Okay, because I see they're going to.
I didn't know that till I
going to Golden State.
First game, I watched a little bit, and I thought, well, they're playing in Memphis, so they have to be there.
Answer the trivia question. Denny says, what about Melvin and Francona? But, yes, Francona. Rodney beat you to the punch there on Terry Francona. So they got 3 of the 4. Who are the 3 we've got?
LaRussa, Francona, Girardi.
And we're missing one. Missing one.
Brett named him out the gate.
Is it okay? So, but he's not a Dodger.
But he's not.
No, Dave Roberts is. Yep. I'm sure he's got the winning percentage, but haven't been there long enough to get the 1,000 wins.
Right. Yep. American or National League? Because time's winding down. We got to throw at least one hen out there.
He's coached in both.
He's been in both.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because not a lot of them have done that. That's good enough right there.
He's won a World Series too, hadn't he? Did he win?
Yeah.
In that other league, with the middle team?
That other league.
Yeah, he started American League, then went National League. Now he's back in American.
Okay.
And he won the World Series.
And I know I heard you. I'm sitting here.
He's one of my favorite managers, or one of the most interesting managers.
Oh yeah, I know
baseball.
who it is now. I know who it is. Yep. A major resurrection. That's the hint of the day.
Yeah.
Right. A major resurrection.
Come on, guys.
That one ought to give it away.
Try not to suck.
Did you have part 2 to that?
Say what?
Did you have 2 parts to that?
No, that was it.
Okay. Hey, man comes in here with a notebook and notes.
Don Rebels got it.
I am not going to.
I just wrote that down. I thought that's
Don Rebels got the
Rebels
answer.
got it, and so did Rodney. About
Joe
the same
Madden.
time.
Joe Madden.
He is an interesting guy, and also a very competitive. Well, I mean, I know all these guys are, but he wears it on his sleeve. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
I mean, you don't. There's no doubt. You know, Matt, how competitive he is, and I don't know what year he started managing or who he started with. I guess Tampa might have been his
Tampa,
first
yeah.
job.
That's the first I remember.
Yeah,
but
he might have come up through the minors and coached there, but I believe Tampa was the first.
yeah,
To me, he looks the same today as he did the first
Yeah.
day he managed. That's why
Yeah.
he don't really look any different. You know,
he's a very experimental. You know, he tries a lot of different things. That's one of the things I like about him, and he just seems different from a lot of other managers. You know, different philosophies, and
Right.
you know, he did the pitcher batting eighth. When he was in Chicago, he used that a lot. That strategy. I don't know. He's just interesting, and he's got a good team right now with the Angels. They're hot, and they have some star power.
here's yet another trivia question: what running of the Kentucky Derby is it today? What is this? Is the what race number in a long series of races at the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs? What number are we at? Anybody know without looking? Yeah. What the third one? We're at the third one since 2019 or 20. I can't even count.
148.
That's it. Did you look? You must have saw it somewhere
I
during
must
the week.
Yeah, I must have just.
Because you don't just nail that number.
No. 148.
148.
148.
No, I have read it this week.
No.
I didn't just look it up after you asked. I just remembered it.
Mike Powell lost a bet on the first one. 148 years ago. And he's not recovered since. The 148th run of the Kentucky Derby take place today at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, a place I've never been, and I've been to Louisville, Kentucky, but it was. I'm telling you, when I was at Louisville, Kentucky, I was in my childhood, and we didn't. I do not remember us going to Churchill Downs and looking at the racetrack or anything like that.
But not to the race. But I've been to Churchill Downs.
Like taking a look at the field, and I'm gonna let you guys before we go. We got about 6 minutes left. We'll pick a horse that we think will win today, and I'm gonna tell you some of the names. And I always love horses' names. They're just always, they always got meaning behind them, right? Mo Donegal, and I'll mispronounce half of these. He's 10-1. Trainer is Todd Pletcher. Jockey, Irad Ortiz Jr. Number 2, Happy Jack. Trainer Doug O'Neill, jockey Raphael. That's where I'm going to mess up is the jockey names. You know what I'm saying? Bajarano, Raphael Bajarano. You looking at it, Brett?
Yeah.
I'm pretty close on that, right?
Yeah.
Number 3 is Epicenter. I think Lenny's already mentioned the horse Epicenter this morning. 7-2 odds. By the way, Happy Jack was 30-1. That's kind of bet I like to place. It's on
And that
something.
first one you named was 10-1.
10-1. Yeah, Mo Donegal. And that's 2 words, Mo Donegal, whatever that means. Epicenter is 7-2. Trainer Steve Asmussen and Joel Rosario is the jockey. I know some guys that bet on trainers and jockeys more than they do horses.
I know who they won't be betting on
and are
this
pretty
year.
successful.
It's, Bob Baffert.
No, they won't. Suspended for indefinite, right?
I believe it's a 2-year ban at Churchill Downs, I believe I heard him say.
Yeah, I think so.
Number 4 is Summer is Tomorrow, 30-1 odds. And here we go. Bupat Seymour is the trainer. Mikhail Barzalona, that's with a Z. Barzalona is the jockey. Number 5, Smile Happy. Now, that's too close to my first horse back there. Second one, Happy Jack. Get those confused. Smile Happy is 20-1. Trainer Ken McPeak, and the jockey is Corey Laneri. Number 6, Messier. Is that named after the?
I don't know. I've seen it.
It's spelled the same way, right,
It's
Brett?
spelled the same way as
Yep.
hockey. It is.
Messier is 8-1, but he's not the trainer. Don't tell who the owner is. Maybe he owns a horse. The trainer is Tim Yatkin, and the jockey is John Velasquez. Number 7 is Crown Pride. That sounds like a drink. There'll be many of those too today at the Kentucky Derby. Look for Brady and Gronk and all that gang to be there, all dressed out. Trainer Kochi Shintani. Don't he play for the Angels? And the jockey is Christophe Lemaire. Number 8, Charge It, 20-1. Todd Pletcher and Louis or Louis probably, says. Number 9, love the name. Tis the Bomb, 30-1. Trainer Kim McPeak, jockey Brian Hernandez Jr. Number 10 is Zandon, trainer Chad Brown, jockey Flavian Pratt. Pioneer of Medina, 30-1 odds. Trainer Todd Pletcher, jockey Joe Bravo. Does that mean he's going to win? Number 12 is Tabia, 12-1 odds. Trainer Tim Yakteen, and the jockey is Mike Smith. How many have I got here? I don't want to keep going too far. I just got through 20. Number 13, Simplification. He's 20-1. The jockey I'll just give you, unless it's a name you'll know. The jockey's Jose Ortiz. 14, Barber Road. Now, I've heard this one mentioned a lot. This is the mud horse. John Ortiz is the trainer. Realu Gutierrez, I'm guessing, is the jockey. Number 15, White Abario, 10-1. The jockey's Tyler Gaffalione. Number 16, Cyberknife, 20-1. Cyberknife is yours?
That's what I'm going with.
Jockey Florent Garreau, and it's OUX, kind of like a Cajun name. Number 17, Classic Causeway, 30-1. Julian LaPro, it's ROUX again. How about that? Back to back on those names. Number 18, Tony Port. Ricardo Santana Jr., and that's not Carlos Santana Jr., the jockey. Number 19, Zozo's, 20-1. The jockey is Manny Franco. And number 20, Ethereal Road, 30-1. Trainer, you know this one, Dwayne Lucas. And the jockey is Luis Contreras. Who you got, Lenny?
I'm going to go
Zandon.
He's probably illegal because I think you say the trainer was Chad Brown.
Illegal. Is he?
And I think he is the Bob Baffert fill-in, I think, for whatever.
Well, surely he's got his nose clean this year if he had to come in there. And
I believe I read somewhere that would have been a Baffert horse. The
3-1 odds for Zandon.
Yep, it's hard for me to go. I wanted to pick a 30-1, but I'm not going to do. I'm not going to pick.
Well, I went the
Happy
20-1.
Did you? I'm not going to go with what that 7-2 because that seems like you're just cheating and going with one of the ones that people think is going to win. I just like the name. Charge It.
What?
I'm going to go with Charge It.
What was
20-1?
What was the mud horse again? What did you say?
I read about this horse yesterday. Barber Road.
Let me go fat.
But
I'm gonna change my mind.
Barber Road is 30-1.
I'm gonna go fat.
But I had a horse expert say the track won't be muddy by the time they run the Derby. But it might.
Almost, it's too easy.
So Barber Road. Mine was Charge It, and Brett's was
Cyberknife.
You got a horse, Lanny? Did I lose him? Huh? The favorite. Zanzibar. Xanadu. All right. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Glad to have Lenny with us in the studio.
Thanks for
Hope
having
we'll
me.
have him again in the near future. For Brett, I'm David and Lenny. See you next week.